So it is a few days before Christmas 2024, and we are hopefully going to get a lot of this taken care of today. So last week, or for you last video, we were able to get all the rest of this side taken off except for this super thick, what has to be at least 1/8 of an inch thick portion up here. I've also realized that there's not going to be a way to actually weld this piece from below because of all these different thicknesses that are attached to it. Locating those exact holes are going to be very difficult to do. So I have some decisions to make. The first one is I could omit this piece completely, which obviously is a structural component of the original architecture of the car. But given that the entire floor assembly is stronger than the original and there are subframe connectors, that may be fine. The other option would be to try to cut away just the portion that's attached and then re-weld a section back in from a replacement piece or a reproduction piece. It's difficult to say what's going to be the best way to deal with this particular item until we kind of get into this and see where we are with this process. It's just, this is the part that is unfortunately the last section before we start mocking up the car with the new floor assembly, and it is fighting me every step of the way. So I'm realizing now as I get under here, this actually is still here and not gone, which led me to kind of stop and figure out what we were going to do with the top of this piece. Oh, so that's where we are. That's where we are. So let's get suited up. Let's start working into this with a fresh wheel on the cutting wheel and see what we can make happen. So Joe versus the volcano, take 453. Let's get started. So I'm guessing that that's broken. Yeah, I'm thinking that's DOA. I think it's given up all it can do. It's done everything it can do, and I think we need to go get another one. I'll be right back. Take two. Oh, ASMR. Unboxing power tool. Oh. Oh. Need that. There's not a wrench with this? Oh, come on, guys. Wow. You'd be screwed if you didn't know that you needed to buy a wrench separate. That's not a wrench. What the hell is this for? Doesn't go in there, does it? That's what was in this box. So here's what probably happened. Someone needed a wrench, bought this, took out the wrench, put in this thing, and returned it. Weak sauce. Good thing I already have a wrench, otherwise I'd be pretty angry. So, back to work.
Why is that? What? Why? Can you explain to me? Maybe I'm confused. Am I doing something wrong?
I don't know what to do after this. It's the largest one for 4.5 inch. Any larger, you have to go to a larger disc, which I would be terrified to use. So, ooh, new tools. Maybe this one's better, because that was depressing. Let's go. Take 3. This car does not want to get rebuilt. Someday I'm going to write all the stories about how this car fought every day to keep from being rebuilt against its own will. This car. This car. You, talking to you. You know I'm talking to you. There's nobody else in the room, so who else could I be talking to? This car tried to jump off the tow truck on the way home. This car fell off the body cart 3 times. So we know it's alive. It just doesn't want to be alive. Okay. Let's see if we can make some actual progress today. See, now the other problem is this is way heavier than the other grinder. If it cuts better, it may equal out, but this is going to be really rough on my arms. Okay, so Hercules. Let's see what Hercules can do today. Alright, that's spinning that way. Where was I before I was rudely interrupted for the 15th freaking time? Oh. Well, it certainly cuts better. Let's see what happens in 20 minutes.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. Now that we've found some success in our lives. And the machine may have finally surrendered to the inevitable that you will be rebuilt.
That was a day's work. That was a significant day's work. I don't think there's any way to turn this around, which is weird. So we have managed to leave the field of battle victorious. I'm exhausted. That was more than 3 hours, which is the longest I've ever gone on this particular part of the project. Now, sadly, that's not the end of deconstruction, because we still have some superstructure underneath the back of here in order for the full floor assembly to actually fit up underneath there. But the significant part, the most difficult part, is actually completed. No matter how long it takes you to do this, again, with the deconstruction, it only has to come off one time. That stuff never has to go back on the car. None of this is ever going back on the car. It's only going in one direction, which is away. It may have taken me 4 times as long to do this as somebody who might be paid to do this. But I don't have the money for that. So I'm relying upon myself to make this happen. And a few days before Christmas 2024, the transition panel between the front of the car and the back of the car is no more. The frame rails, no more. Shock towers, no more. Yeah, you can do this. It just takes patience, of which I have precious little, especially when dealing with angle grinders that really aren't worth buying. So if you're looking to do something like this, I could suggest something 13 amps or higher, because I was using a 7 amp. That one lasted a really long time. The Bauer lasted a really long time. And then it died today. Then I went to get a DeWalt, and it died within 20 minutes. So no more DeWalt for me, because that was a little weird. But this one, this Hercules from Harbor Freight, hung in there as I was doing what I was doing, and made it possible for us to do this. So the next step is to get the rest of this, which should be just another session like today, couple hours, And then we're going to be able to do something pretty momentous, which is to actually put the full frame assembly, full floor assembly under the car and start figuring out how well it matches up and how much more we have to remove from the trimming of the inside rocker rails to get those two pieces to kind of go together. So from Parts Unknown, Project 21F, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the things you may or may not be celebrating this year in your life, in your family's life, and your project's life. Project 21F, it's on to the next adventure.